Well, this is a day that we have thought about for a very long time. Long before the Orioles punched their ticket to the playoffs, long before the Orioles wrapped up an American League East title. This is a day that you thought about when the rebuild started, and when would it arrive? Well, it has arrived, all right. The Orioles, the best team in the American League this year, are going to be facing off against the Texas Rangers in the American League Division Series.
Here it is. Swing and a miss, strike three. And that will do it. You go the entire season. You go until last May. You had not been swept. And the Orioles are swept in 3 games in the American League Division Series by the Texas Rangers. And in a season that was so magical, 101 wins, a playoff berth, an American League East crown. Nothing can take away what this 2023 season was. But tonight in Arlington, Texas, it just really stings.
These guys played their butts off for 6 months. We just didn't play well for these last 3, unfortunately. This hurts, and it's okay to hurt, and it's okay to have this kind of fuel your fire in the off season. It's going to take a little bit while for us to get over this a little bit, but I think our guys are going to come in hungry in spring training. The guys that are coming back, especially the young guys, knowing what this feels like, knowing what this tastes like, and it sucks.
If you look at the micro, it's disappointing. If you look at the macro, what a season. For your Baltimore Orioles, 101 wins, postseason baseball at the yard. It was a great season no one could have expected at the beginning.
Just the way that game went, the way that series went, was very disappointing for all of us. Not just me. I think we had some good performances. The first game was close, a game we probably could have won, should have won, but to be swept after having such a great year stings.
You're watching the team that just beat you continue and move on, and once it's kind of at the end, the World Series, you're preparing to go back to work. Like, that was what happened to me. I watched the World Series, and literally within that next week, I was back in the weight room getting ready.
That's what was in my mind throughout the whole offseason is that moment in the season. That's not where we wanted, but I definitely have used that for motivation throughout the offseason, and looking forward to getting that opportunity again, and we're winning this year.
The Yankees right now, the favorite, at least to make the postseason. The Rays, Orioles taking a step back, according to this.
I love the Orioles. I don't get the disrespect for Baltimore. They won over 100 games last year.
I feel like they're going to be able to pitch and be in games, and they're going to get better, like you said, just by the fact that they're a year older. The team will be better.
The Orioles are a great young team. They're not good enough to win a World Series with that starting pitching.
What the Orioles did last year was truly incredible, but they did run out of gas when it came to starting pitching, especially in the playoffs. I'm not sure that they're going to be able to replicate the same success during the regular season. They might still need to make one more move to really solidify that rotation.
You look at the season that we had last year, and it's pretty clear that we had the core of a quality team in place, winning the East. All these young position players that came up together, kind of congealed together, and it seemed that the roster, the 2023 roster, worked well together. But like any winter, you're looking for pitching primarily. I mean, that's always a theme for every major league team. But for us, we had the Bautista injury, we had Kyle Gibson leaving. It's clear that a starter and a back-end reliever were the priorities.
Baltimore Orioles are signing reliever Craig Kimbrell. He will replace Felix Bautista as the closer in 2024. Remember the big fella Bautista recovering from elbow surgery, but they're getting a guy in Kimbrell. 417 career saves. More than likely headed to Cooperstown to the Hall of Fame. Yeah. He's going to be he's a big get for what they didn't have in the month of September when Bautista got hurt. Blockbuster trade less than 2 weeks before spring training. Corbin Burnes goes to Baltimore.
It was a lot of work, a lot of conversations all winter, not just with the Brewers, but with many other teams trying to get this front-end starting pitcher. There weren't a lot out on the market. There were 2 others traded in Chris Sale and Tyler Glasnow, but those are both in our division with the Rays and the Red Sox, so they're not going to trade them to the Orioles. We talked to the Brewers early. We stayed in touch with them all winter. Ultimately, they got to a point in their offseason where they were willing to field real offers for Corbin Burnes, and he was at the top of our board in terms of talent for this. So lucky it came together.
Once I was told it was Baltimore, obviously excited because it's a great team. Team that won 101 games last year, won the AL East, made it to the postseason. So it's a team knowing that I was going to get traded, was going to go to a team that was winning, and was going to win probably for years to come. So we were excited to come to this division. It's a new challenge for me, which I look forward to.
Mike Elias, and I tip my cap to him because he's done 5 or 6 years ago when he took over, he said, this is what I'm going to do, this is how I'm going to map it out, and he's done it all the way through. And then you go to the offseason, he said, those are 2 main things that I want to address is the back end bullpen and we need another starter. And he addressed both of those things too. So you had to feel super good about the acquisitions that were coming in.
The momentum in Baltimore is hard to refute.
Well, Baltimore's the pick now. Baltimore's the team that everyone's going to probably have to go through at some point to get to the World Series or win the World Series.
This now makes Baltimore Orioles a legitimate World Series contender the day they walk into camp at spring training.
Oh, yeah. We're back, baby. We're back.
Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you guys. Good morning.
It's awesome seeing some of the guys. You just kind of build it off every year, and you develop that just friendship and camaraderie with each and every one of the guys, and then throw in some new faces who fit right in. It's been pretty cool, and everybody seems to be meshing pretty well so far.
We're together for 8 months, and then we're apart for 4 months. And the clubhouse in here it's a different kind of bond. A lot of these guys, I mean, we're all pretty good friends, and we kind of just pick up right where we left off.
I wanted to dive right into briefing everyone on players that are not full participants at this time. Kyle Bradish, he detected some irritation in his throwing elbow. That diagnosis revealed an injury that we would characterize as a sprain of his ulnar collateral ligament. Everything is pointed in the right direction, and we're prepping him for a lot of action in 2024, and we're getting him ready for that as expeditiously and responsibly as possible. John Means, as you recall, at the end of 2023, he had a flare-up in his elbow, and he's a month behind the other pitchers right now in his throwing. We're happy to have all of the starting pitchers that we have. You look at the guys that finished in AAA, Zimmerman, Povich, McDermott, they're all going to get a shot here. Seth Johnson's going to get a look, and then Wells and Irvin. We're going to be a big part of this team no matter what.
Injuries are part of this game, and I feel good about the depth we have. Our young players I'm really looking forward to looking at, and they're going to be playing a lot, and talking about Mayo and Norby and Suck Kierstad a little bit at the end of the year. Colton Cowser, these type of guys, they're going to be getting a ton of at-bats and a lot of innings in the field, so looking forward to watching our prospects. Kind of never know what's going to happen throughout these next 6 weeks.
Feel like we've got the depth and the talent, the numbers here to navigate whatever's coming. We've got a long, month and a half ahead of us here. It's kind of a one day at a time thing.
Oh yeah, baby! It's showtime.
Middle way, yeah. Okay, here, a little bit more on the plate, but still shaded over there pretty far. This is better? Yeah. That's what we want there.
That's a process that takes some time to get to know, one catch, let alone 2. So I got to go to Adley the other day in a bullpen.
Yeah, we're gonna try to start this edge and run it almost to chalk.
It's one of those things. It's good that both guys have been very open with talking with me and talking through things, and them getting to know me as far as how I throw and setups and that kind of stuff. So it's a relationship that takes a few weeks to start and get growing, and it takes months to fully get to somewhere where you're completely comfortable with each other. But with the time we have here, we should be pretty comfortable with each other come opening day.
The O's have hired their new pitching coach, bringing in Drew French, a 39-year-old, coming in from the Atlanta Braves, where he has been the bullpen coach for Atlanta for the last 3 seasons, and now gets his first big league pitching coach job.
Frenchie's a really good fit for us. We have a pitching program that we like. We use a lot of analytics, but we also need people that understand the game on the field, and he's done both of those things, and he was around a lot of veteran coaches and a lot of veteran players, and they sing his praises. So we think he's a good marriage of new school and old school that's kind of the perfect fit for where we're at as an organization right now.
Spent a ton of time this offseason getting familiar with the staff, the players, spent some time traveling in January to see some of these guys at their homes. You really just try to build the foundation of relationships first, because that's where it starts and stops. It was nice to get out to see some of these guys in their home training bases and grab a meal with them and, talk about family and talk about things that are more personal in nature, and, because it's really about, the whole person and not just about the baseball player.
Gotta get that front leg down.
I think just how stable can you be all the way to the top of leg width?
Yeah, it's gonna be a
little, right out of it.
A little slower.
Our entire pitching group met with each individual pitcher the first 4 or 5 days of camp. We talked, reviewed 2023 for them, talked about what they did really well, but also got into some things that we feel like they can either be more consistent at or improve or add or subtract. And so really, moving forward, it's the blueprint is very individualized for every single guy, but you're looking to see how consistent they can become and what these additions or subtractions are doing in terms of like what their game looks like now.
That's it. That is it. You feel better now than you did at the beginning, yeah?
Yes. Their preparation level and what they did to come into camp, to me, I was just floored by it. And it just didn't feel like a traditional spring training right out of the chute, which I think was really cool for each individual guy to kind of just get themselves into their own flow and their consistency.
I think we keep trying to go for
Attack
chase. Yeah, but maybe we run that on the other side.
I think Cole Irvin is super excited. And he said, I only took 1 week off, and I got right into my off-season program of working out because I didn't throw many innings last year. And it's obviously paid off. He came into camp 10, 15 pounds lighter. He seems to be in really, really good shape.
Coming into this year, I kind of wanted to turn some heads. I wanted to change my arsenal in a way that made me feel better as a pitcher. I had more weapons to attack guys with. But more importantly, I wanted to give our team a better performance than I had last year. I knew there was more in there. I knew there was more inside, and that was the focus, was how can I get better for my teammates to get to where we want to go.
There's not any doubt in my mind as I sit here today. Orioles win the East in the American League. I think their position players and what they've put together, I think Corbin Burnes coming over to be the #1 and slot Grayson Rodriguez down in the #2 spot, I think that's going to catapult them. I think they've got a lot of pieces that they can go out there with. I love everything about what they're doing in Baltimore. And Adley Rutschman, what he's done behind home plate for the Orioles since he's been named like up to the big leagues, the winning record that he's put to play when he started catching speaks volumes to me. He is a winning player, no question, offensively and defensively.
I love the infield, I love the outfield. I now really love this pitching staff. They have talent for days. There's so much to like here.
As an offense, we have a foundation of who we want to be and the skills we want to have, controlling the strike zone, hard contact, and hitting balls at really good angles. That's our foundation, but each guy brings a little something different to that foundation, and then we build together. So it's building a great culture, having the guys feel like I can make a mistake and I'm supported, going after really hard training every day. Those are the things that are going to help us in July, August, September when we need it. So the individual efforts are going to be there with what they're working on, but collectively as an offense, we want to train hard, we want to prepare well. So those habits we're really trying to ingrain here in spring training.
We're good at base running. We could be even better. There's certain moments of last year when I think about it, like there are certain reads, etc., that we can be even better, even though we're really good at it, and it does win us games because of how athletic we are, how much we pay attention to detail. We know what our priorities are on the bases, etc. We run contact really well. All those things. We still need to push the envelope on it and understand that that's why we're a good team. Base running is hard to practice because you only have so much time in spring training, but when the season starts, we're not going to train out as a group. So that's why we do our talks and pre-series meetings, etc., just so we're staying sharp up here. But it's also important for you guys to get out on the bases, to see balls off the bat, etc. So in this next month, take as much time as you can to get out on the bases, just so when the season comes, we're not surprised by it.
Shuffle, same way around second. Keep it tight.
Our secondaries are a staple of just being a great teammate. right? Our secondaries to be able to score, our secondaries to be able to go first and third. We're always doing our homework with our good secondary. Now we're in position to always advance in the extra base, okay? Or ball in the dirt, etc. As we're getting older in our careers, don't lose that. That's what makes us really, really good.
Go, go, go!
I'm having you take ground balls at third base today, but I'm going to move you around. We'll be doing some second base stuff, obviously too, probably 50-50, and then a little bit of shortstop too, just to keep you keep you tuned in there.
All right.
But I'll get you as many reps as you need.
I want to compete as hard as I can every single day. I love everybody in this clubhouse, but I don't want to give any space to anybody. You know, I want to win a job. I'm going to be just as intense or just as focused as I usually am. Maybe not smile as much once the games start, but I don't care what my role is really. I don't care where I play, I want to be a part of this team.
Talked about what's a win look like today with Jordan Westburg the other day. So if it's going to be I need 2 hits today, it's probably going to be a really tough day. But if you say what's a win today, I want to see the ball really well. I want to control my movement throughout the box, and I want to make hard contact. Man, we can do that.
I feel like I put up some numbers in the minors that didn't get mirrored when I got to the big leagues, and whether that's because it was a different role or whether the pitching's better or I just didn't execute as well, but I know that there's some things in the tank that I want to come out and use in the games in the big leagues, so I was trying to work on cleaning those things up.
Okay, here we go. Relay drill. Relay drill. Those are the guys that have been with me for a while now. We fully understand the drill, which is playing catch, chest-high throws, moving your feet, hitting your target, and this is how it starts. Starts with the catcher in a crouch, picking up the baseball, throwing it to the first guy. We go down all the way to the end, okay? That then the outfielder then will throw it back to the plate. So it goes from outfielder to infielder, back to the plate. Wrinkle this year, once the catcher's guard goes down, the outfielder has a second ball where he is now picking up, and we are doing it one more time. The stopwatch stops when the shin guard hits. There's 7 teams. So we're gonna go 3 teams, and then 2 and 2.
Push now! Gotta go!
We can improve it.
We got 16.5.
I think you guys won that round. North will hit me in the chest. I'm gonna hit you.
You good catch on the ball
that I threw you back because I didn't throw you back.
Right when he throws it, I'm going to be the one triggered because when I see him go down,
Hey, we got this.
Which one do you want to be at? Do you want to be this one or that one?
Yeah, I'll be in the office.
Yeah! Good group. Go on.
That's how you do it, right there. Moving on.
Okay, so it's Mav, Adley, and McCann. Yeah. Mav, Adley, and McCann. Mav, Adley, and McCann. Hey, sometimes you gotta play in big conditions. Here we go. Evo! Evo! Woo!
There we go.
Hey,
Dub.
Gave him my best shot. He just throws, but y'all somehow.
Y'all have some beat. Dude, we had one that was just going diagonal. We went like this on one of them.
Yeah,
I'm throwing that yellow flag. You challenge it? Nicole, you got it on video? All right, we got video review right here.
I think there's always competition, but it's friendly competition. Like, you want to outdo the other guy, but you also want that guy to have success too, you know, because it makes the team better. And what I love about this team is they really enjoy each other's company. And while they are very competitive, and you have to be to play this game, they also are pulling for one another. And I've always been told the best potential of me is we. And when we do well as a team, everybody's going to kind of get their due. That was what I felt about this team, and I still feel about this team, is they actually enjoy being around each other.
We also have a spring training long fishing competition, a contest. If you guys lock into a pig and you want me to see it, text it to me, and I will print it out and I'll put it on the board. The picture of the fish that's on that board is the leader, okay? And if all the fishing guys in the room determine that one fish is bigger than the other, I'll take the other photo down, and then we'll start. So here's the leader so far. Hazy.
How much
Irv,
1.5 pounds?
I don't know. Fishing guys, you tell me.
Good angle.
But he's smart. So he's smart. So what he did, check this out. He sends, we all do this, right? We all extend it. We've all done that. But here's a telltale, which is a nice touch. He went with foot wedge to see how big it is. So these will be on the board. This is the leader. If you lock into one that you like better than this, send it in and we'll put it up there. What's really important is we've had some more fish submissions. Apparently we have a new leaderboard. The new fish on the leaderboard. Oh. Look at this pig. This is a pig.
That's last year's issued turfs right there. Where's the timestamp of this picture?
Apparently the first saltwater submission is now defunct too. Trying to get by it. Not getting up. No, we do have the first saltwater. I didn't know a speckled sea trout was a saltwater fish, but here's the leader on the saltwater category. How big was it, Westy? 18-inch speckled trout. That's the leader.
Everyone just enjoys being around each other. Everyone enjoys coming to the field, and yeah, you can call this work, but for us, I feel like we're coming to hang out with our buddies and hang out with our friends, and it makes the work a lot easier to just jump into. And I think that's what makes this team unique, is the personalities of Colton Cowser and Adley and all the other guys that you can name. Tyler Wells is definitely a personality, and so it's just fun to just be around these guys every day, and just to have fun and give each other a hard time all day, every day, and that's part of our identity.
If you could be any animal, what would it be? There's one right answer.
That's awful.
And it's an orca.
So best you could come up with?
What are you, a gorilla? What if you could be an animal, what would it be?
A spotted leopard.
Spotted leopard?
Not just a leopard, a spotted leopard. A sheephead fish.
No, he's not.
He's lying.
You got a wire. It's Cowser, he's undercover. Check his pants. It is. You think you can hide a mic on this hard body? Cowser's mom.
Oh no, Gunner's got the hoodie.
Oh, true.
And I got sunburn.
The more ragging you do with guys, the more comfortable you are with guys, the more you communicate the honest things that need to be said. That's where it translates. I know that there's majority of these guys I can come to, whether it be Dean Kremer or Danny Coulomb or Mike Bauman, just to name a few guys. Like, I can go to them at any point and be like, man, I don't feel right. Do you see something that I'm doing? When you're playing catch with certain guys or working out with certain guys, they see your tendencies. They know what you're doing. They know how you click and compete. And that's where the camaraderie really clicks and shows up on the field, is the honest feedback that you're going to get from your teammates as well.
We understand each other on a better level, so if I see a guy that's kind of struggling with something and he's willing to talk about it and just kind of throw ideas at him, something might click, you never know, but having a team that's like that definitely helps.
Hey folks, let's get ready up there.
Hope Springs Eternal in Sarasota, Florida, as Grapefruit League play begins today at Ed Smith Stadium. And unlike the last few years, these are not the underdog, lovable Orioles. They are one of the prohibitive favorites in the American League.
Well, they certainly are. You got about 5 weeks till the Angels come to Baltimore to start the season.
And now the former Cy Young Award winner is wearing orange and black.
3-2 pitch, strike three at the knees. And so the first batter that Burnes faces in an O's uniform goes down looking.
Have some fun, Jax.
It's been fun to be able to face really quality pitching early and being exposed to that. I mean, it's the first time that I've been exposed to an ace or like some of the best relievers in the game. I've struggled a little bit, but I think it's for the better. And yeah, one for my last one is how I'm thinking about it. So it's been really fun and challenging at the same time. I have an opportunity to play second base. I think that's probably where the most playing time's at. Talking to Mike and Hyde, that's probably where the most opportunity is. And if that's where I have to play in the big leagues, I mean, I'm all for it.
It's been a lot of fun just watching all these young infielders do their thing. Just watching him also the same thing, just a super good athlete. He's picking everything up really quick. B-Rob was out here while I was out here, and he was able to give him some advice with some power feeds, and B-Rob was one of the best I ever saw doing it, so he was the right guy for that job.
Talking to JJ about certain positioning and flips and how he sees it from the shortstop side, and then having Brian here. I've known him since I was a little kid, so it's pretty cool to interact with him, and he was an unbelievable second baseman, and talking to JJ about how Brian fed the ball and little things that he did to be so good. So it's been great to have those guys here that are such talented big leaguers whenever they were playing, and picking their brain a little bit and learn from them. It's been awesome.
Good to be back. Let's go, fellas.
I think Dylan Tate is going to be the key to this bullpen. If he can return to the form that he had in 22, he was a really good setup guy in 22, and they're going to need him to be that guy again this year. And so all indications are he's healthy, he's ready to go, he looks good, the ball's coming out. Now, when you skip a whole year and you miss a whole year, it's different, right? And so you hope he can get back to being that consistent guy that he was. But the good news is he's healthy, and typically when he's healthy, he's going to have a good year.
And that is something you have to factor in about the Orioles bullpen this year. A lot of guys who once had options no longer do.
Yeah, it's getting more and more difficult, right? And that's what happens when you have good teams and players that are starting to get a little bit of time under their belts, and those things are beginning. So
spring training stats are tricky, and good stats aren't necessarily good. Good stats are better than bad stats, but bad stats aren't necessarily bad. So it's a tricky thing to invest too much in what happens out on the field. Pitchers, we're looking to see where their stuff's at, where their command's at, how the hitters are reacting to their pitches, but it's very case by case. If it's a veteran kind of just getting himself ready for the season, you're not putting too much stock into that. There are other players that are in more competition mode, and we do put more stock in that. And with hitters, we will just want to see that they're on time, taking balls, swinging at strikes, things like that.
Nothing's easy in the big leagues. There's still really good pitchers out there, and really just got to go out there and work your butt off to have success in this league. And I feel like you have to do that year in and year out.
All the results are in. This one being asked of manager Brandon Hyde earlier. What is the rotation? Corbin Burnes is in the 1 spot. It'll be followed by Grayson Rodriguez, Tyler Wells, Dean Kremer, and Cole Irvin will be that 5th starter, and these are pretty hard to argue with.
I'm just looking forward to being in the foxhole with these guys and kind of locking arms with them and like doing it together.
We were the underdog team for, who knows how long, and we're not sneaking up on anybody anymore, but we kind of had that feeling, in the midst of last season as well, where teams knew that we were good and they knew that coming in. Can we be the same team that we were just a year prior? For us to come in with that chip on our shoulder, we still have that.
I've been a part of the postseason in 5 of my 6 years that I've been in the big leagues, and so when I come in, that's what I'm bringing. I'm bringing the will and the hunger to get back there and to win it all. I've never played in the World Series, so my goal is to play in the World Series and to win the World Series. So that's something that I've been pretty open with these guys. Obviously, they made the postseason last year and had a quick exit. So my goal is to come in and add what I can to this group, and hopefully it means welcoming to the World Series.
We've got so many of these guys back. We have more young talent on the way. There's a wonderful farm system underneath it all. The sky's the limit for this team, but it's not going to be easy.